Ladies and gentlemen, the American Jury and Bulldog Nation, welcome to the Bulldog Show. As always, we're sponsored by Deters Law, Parks Yoga, and check us out on all the platforms. We're on all of them. You know, my top story is a story that I like bringing original viewpoints. Those of you that tune into my show expect that, want that. I'm not here to just regurgitate what everybody else is saying. I want to give you an original perspective. And I want all of you to know that it is my opinion that Donald Trump is getting a high dose of disloyalty from a lot of people who he put where they are today. Nikki Haley, for example. I can't ever imagine. Larry Forgy was my political godfather. I would never in a million years run against Larry Forgy for anything. Now, let me tell you about Ron DeSantis. Ron DeSantis was a conservative Republican in Congress. He was in that group, I really do think, with Jim Jordan and the rest of them, okay? But this is where Donald Trump trained Ron DeSantis, and I was there. I witnessed it. I watched it just like all of you, and I'm refreshing your memory about it. Trump runs for president. He gets elected president. Ron DeSantis runs for governor, gets elected to governor with Donald Trump's help. What style did Donald Trump bring to the table that Romney and McCain never brought to the table and ended up losers? He took the fight to them. He would speak out forcibly about issues, things. He made up nicknames, all of that. Look, you can go back and check out Ron DeSantis' style from when he was in Congress to when he became governor, and over the past couple years with the pandemic and everything, Ron DeSantis not only became governor with Donald Trump's help, he copied, he duplicated Trump's style with fighting with his opponents, fighting the woke mob, fighting his enemies. You go back and check it out. My point is Trump trained DeSantis, not only helped him, and now DeSantis might run for president against Donald Trump. And I want to tell you something else that I think nobody's talking about. It's a very, very unique circumstance. Donald Trump is going to be a one-termer. He can't be president for 2 terms. So who he picks as his vice presidential candidate is really, really a big deal. And I think what you're going to witness here is these people jockeying for that vice president seat because they know that that will lead to the best position to run for president after another successful Trump administration. The problem is Trump's all about loyalty to him. And by the way, something that you could score a few marks against Donald Trump is he's had a little trouble with loyalty to some of his biggest supporters. Him picking people in primaries, in my opinion, has been a political mistake on his part. He did it in too many races. But regardless of that, you see people like Sarah Palin, a Trumper, saying, hey, Ron DeSantis, you shouldn't run. Carrie Lake lining up for Trump. So Trump is much more likely to pick one of those people, and it's going to hurt them if they run for president. If they were smart, they're not going to beat Trump anyway in a primary. Really? It's going to be a crowded field, and Trump has his base. Are any of these people going to have crowds as big as Trump? Hell no. It's not going to happen. Trump's going to win. If they were smart, they would not run, because all it's going to do is get the Trump base against them. All right. I made this title, Buttigieg, good old Mayor Pete, planes, trains, and trucks. Okay, he's our transportation secretary. Look at the calamities that we've had in every industry. And you know what that SOB's done? Rather than be a partner with those industries, he attacks them. He is the Secretary of Transportation, where he should be a partner solving problems with these industries. Instead, he just attacks them. He just nailed the railroad industry. It's truly amazing. He is the biggest lightweight in government. A gay mayor of South Bend, Indiana. Well, let's make him Secretary of Transportation. First thing he does is he takes a 1 month or 3 month leave for having a baby. It's a joke. Trump versus the field. I really have already covered this, but the bottom line is that Trump blows the field away. No, they're not going to beat him. Anybody with a half a brain is going to know that Trump will not lose a Republican primary. The only people that will spread otherwise are people that don't like Trump, or they're looking out for their payday, these political operatives who are going to get behind another candidate. Nuclear war. Putin, what do they call it? Saber rattling. You know, for the first time in forever, we have one of the superpowers bringing up nuclear war. That ought to scare the hell out of you. And all good old Joe Biden does is make it worse. Going to Poland, going to Ukraine, doing all that he's doing. You hear about the latest? Biden now wants to be Polish. I mean, this guy is a clown of the first class. His latest is he says he wish he would have, when he goes to Poland, talk about pandering politics. Him and Hillary, they just pander. He's saying when he grew up, he wishes he would have had a SKY at the end of his name. So we're going to call him Bidenski now. Good old Joe Bidenski, forevermore. Newsom miscalculated the California budget by $7 billion. He needs Kim Guilfoyle back, but she won't go back. This is scary as hell. Fentanyl is throughout this country. I mean, it's everywhere. Ninefold. And what a tragedy. Now I got to ask you a question, all right? If you could blame one single person who should be blamed for this, who is it? It's clear as day. It's Joe Biden. This is all coming in on our southern border. And Joe Biden doesn't give a damn. It is sick, folks. Joe Biden has completely, he was supposed to be Joe Moderate. He is completely 1,000% in with the woke crowd. I mean, he makes Barack Obama look like a damn conservative. I mean, it's truly amazing. This son of a bee freaking did this to our country. God, it makes me so mad. U.S. Supreme Court heard oral arguments yesterday on YouTube, and this ought to make you feel really happy. They all said, well, we don't really know much about the internet. Really? Our Supreme Court justices don't know anything about the internet? My God. The Supreme Court's such a damn disappointment, what they've done and failed to do. Not taking cases, the way they've ruled on cases, refused cases, rather than taking the damn issues and making a damn decision and making it law for clarity for our country. China has a phantom space strike that apparently could knock out all our nuclear missiles. Folks, it's all about anything you can do military that makes the other side obsolete ought to scare the hell out of you. Because if there's one country, see, we've had the power to wipe out any country we wanted, but we don't. China and Russia operate by a different set of rules. You better hope that it never becomes reality that China and Russia can defeat us in a war. Because guess what? They'll fight that war. Marjorie Taylor Greene, you know, I like her because she's got spunk. I like her because she's conservative. But she also just says some wacky ass things. And she's called for a national divorce. I think it's metaphorically. But the way it came out, it was kind of goofy. Not to mention the fact she's from Georgia. Marjorie Greene Taylor, where you're from, is it going to be a Republican or a Democrat as part of the divorce? See, rather than call it the divorce, I call it teams. You know, our team versus their team, and we're playing for the country. This is the Bulldog. Every dog has their day. Have a great day. Coming up next is Bulldog TV Local News. Ladies and gentlemen, American Jury and Bulldog Nation, welcome to Bulldog TV Local News. As always, we're sponsored by Deters Law, Parks Yoga, and check us out on all of our platforms. By the way, Bulldog TV on Facebook is headed to 26,000 followers, and the viewership and the interest is just great. So you haven't followed Bulldog TV on Facebook, please do. And don't forget to subscribe to the Bulldog Show also on YouTube. All right, our lead story today is Tuesday, the Environmental Protection Agency told Norfolk Southern they'll need to clean up after the toxic train derailment. They told the railway company they must clean it all up, and if they failed to clean it up, the EPA would do it in triple damages under the statute. Donald Trump will also be in town today at the East Palestine derailment site. It is another example of governments by defiance that despite everything that's going on there, that good old Pete doesn't want to go and Joe Biden doesn't go. I mean, this is an incredible calamity in the heart of the country. And he knows he should go, but he doesn't go. It's like going to the border. It's truly amazing. So Trump is going. By the way, why shouldn't Trump go? He's not only the former president of the United States, he's running for president again. So why not go? He ought to go. I can tell you right now, if I was running for governor of Ohio, I'm too busy right now doing all that I'm doing. If I was running for governor of Ohio, I would have been there the first day. But we'll see what happens. Long crime. Former Warren County football coach Eric Schmidt was jailed in 2019 for having sexual contact with two 12-year-olds. Death penalty. After 15 months into his 3.5-year sentence, he's petitioned for an early release. Think about that. He had sexual contact with two 12-year-olds, and he's going to get out. His sentence, unbelievable. Unbelievable. I just, 3.5 years, all he gets. It's wrong. The Kentucky Transportation Cabinet is offering a $5,000 reward to help find and prosecute copper thieves. This was big, I think, over 10 years ago. I didn't know it's back. The thieves have broken into multiple light poles around the area and steal the copper out of the poles. The theft has resulted in about $300,000 damage. They used to break into homes and steal the copper that's being used in new homes. In local news, a fire broke out Tuesday at the Hammond North condominiums on Hamilton Avenue. 7 were hospitalized. 2 firefighters were burned in the blaze at the Cincinnati high-rise. All are expected to recover. The cause remains unknown and under investigation. Officials have confirmed a chemical spill at Erlanger Creek this week. A local resident spotted white foam in the creek and reported to officials. Officials are still investigating what the chemical is and where it came from. Wonderful. In Kentucky state news, cockfighting is illegal across the country, but national animal rights groups are calling out Kentucky on the practice. Activists say police in the Commonwealth don't crack down on the activity and look the other way. The group has labeled Kentucky as a hub for cockfighting traffic in the global industry. You know, I'm old school, okay? But I think cockfighting is something that Kentucky should probably ban. Will ban. As your governor, I'll go ahead and take the position. I'm against cockfighting. Its time has passed. See, some things I want to go back to the old days. Other things we have to move on. Cockfighting is one of them. Kentucky officials announced $13.3 million in federal funding to help mental health services in northern Kentucky. The funds will be distributed across 19 northern Kentucky school districts to address the mental health services. Democrat Cassie Chambers Armstrong been elected to the Kentucky State Senate after yesterday's special election. She'll replace Megan McGarvey of District 19 in Louisville. She defeated Republican candidate Misty Glenn. In Ohio State news, Ohio activist groups have submitted a proposal to include a vote on legal abortion on November's ballot. The group gathered over 7,000 signatures in 48 hours to move the proposal forward. The signatures put the ball in the Attorney General's court to push it on. 2 of Ohio's safe haven baby boxes are now closed, including one in Union Township. The boxes are placed in multiple locations across the country to surrender a baby anonymously. And in sports, a new study of NFL stadiums gives high marks to the Bengals' Paycor Stadium when it comes to concessions. Yay! 10th in food and drink, 3rd cheapest beer in the league. Yeah, right. Coming up next, World News with James Spenley. Actually, he's got a new nickname. James Spen No, excuse me. James Pasick Kidney Stone Spindley. This is the Bulldog. Every dog has their day. We Vikings don't get sick, but the Brits do. Every dog has their day. Have a great day.
Good day, Bulldog Nation. Today's world headlines. A high school student has stabbed a Spanish teacher to death in a school in the French town of Saint Jean de Luz this morning. The teacher was in her 50s and died of cardiac arrest. The student has been arrested. North Korea is experiencing critical food crisis. The country is no stranger to chronic food shortages, but border controls, poor weather and sanctions have worsened the situation in recent years. The world's largest coffee chain, Starbucks, is launching a line of olive oil-infused drinks in Italy. Wow. Italy's coffee scene is famous for its independent and often family-run cafes. The former face of Mexico's war on drugs, ex-security minister Genaro Garcia Luna, has been convicted of drug trafficking. He was found guilty of taking millions of dollars from the Sinaloa drug cartel. And in sports, Liverpool took a royal beating last night by Real Madrid in the Champions League knockout stage, first leg losing 5-2. I watched that game and God, Real Madrid were on fire. See you all tomorrow. Take care. Cheers. Oh, I'd like to wish one of our staff members, Christina Rudder, a very happy birthday. Enjoy your day, Christina.